Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The night air is cold and the moon is very dark. A sliver of light reflected on the face of the moon, and he cannot see the ground clearly. The deepest, darkest celestial black blanket is adorned with the glitter of stars. Under his feet, the gravel and sand are alternated by horizontal beams of wood evenly spaced between two steel rails. He walks slowly, with uneven footfalls in the center of the train tracks. After 2 kilometers, he stopped and grabbed a two-way radio from his pocket. Assalamu alaikum. I am Sayf Balud. Please, ask your commander to speak with me. He waits quietly for 20 minutes. An answer comes across the radio. Where will you approach? He answered, from the west at the railroad. Several minutes later, he can see a figure in the distance walking by the light of a street lamp towards the intersecting railroad. A voice sounds inside his radio and said, Come, now. Sayf emerges from the blackness of the railroad track, walking towards the intersection of the street where the soldier is waiting. Their eyes lock onto each other's faces in the dim light. The soldier's eyebrows deepen in a furrow and does not blink his eyelids. Do you have weapons? No, he answered. He motions for Sayf to walk one step ahead of him. Go to the door. Sayf walks to the door where another soldier is waiting for him to enter. He is brought through a hallway and into a room with overhead industrial lighting and cushions for seating. The door is closed and he can hear the soldier has remained standing outside the closed door. Several minutes later, footsteps approach and the door is opened. A tall man with black hair and black eyes comes into the doorway, his open arms to embrace him. The man is smiling. What do you need? He asked. 1 week later, the man named Sayf listens on the two-way radio channel. He searched his contact list on his telephone for the name, Maria, and called. A woman answers. Hello. The birds of peace have come together, he said. She ended the call. 30 minutes later, men called onto the radio about the approach of an aircraft flying low and descending onto the city. The sun is high in the sky, and a cool breeze is drifting across the pink sands and red dirt. At the city edge, a man named Kader Saleh is standing among several men within the communications room of a large concrete structure. They hear the news of the approach of an aircraft on the radio channel. They prepare to leave the room as the coordinates of the aircraft heading are spoken. The course is northeast, directly to the Infantry Academy building. Abu Farad's school! The radio cried. Kader Saleh hears the scream of a jet engines at low altitude, nearly overhead, and opened the door. He quickly stretched his long legs and ran several strides. The thundering boom of impact from a bomb is heard, and he is pushed face down onto the ground. He can't hear anything for a few minutes. His sight is blurry. He feels pain in his body. Send the ambulance, the radio screams. Sayf leans back into his cushions and exhales his breath happily. He feels a surge of energy in his blood. He feels power. He laughs and walks outside to feel the sun on his face. He took his phone again and searched the contact list for the name Black Sheep. As he stood at the doorstep observing the red and pink color landscape, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The man who answered has spoken. Wa alaikum assalam. I have something important to give you. Please, I need to eat with you tonight in your home. The man responded with a sound of pleasure in his voice. A satisfying meal is waiting for you to arrive.